You know what nobody tells you about quarries? They only exist because someone had the audacity to look at perfectly good earth and say, well, I bet there's something valuable in there if we dig deep enough. And when you look at castles, well, they're the absurd result of someone looking at a mountain and saying something like, I think I'm going to live up there, even though it's wildly inconvenient, but nobody will be able to mess with me. And these are two things that caught my attention yesterday when I was visiting two Czechia's beautiful locations with my fiance, and one of them being the castle Karstein. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. And the second one was the great Amerika Quarry. And with that, I was blasted by these two separate quotes from different sources. I'm not author of either of those. The first one is life shrinks or expands in proportion to one's courage. And the second one is, in order for things to get better, they have to get worse. And for things to change, you have to change. And so what stood out for me the most regarding these two quotes in relation to those two places is that in both of these locations, those people had this grand vision, as I said, the audacity to look at a somewhat perfect landscape, and they still decided that there is something more meaningful if they choose to, either dig deep down or build something up. And so, even though we visited the quarry second, I would like to start with that first in this video. And so, this really reminded me of our own discomforts and our tendency to not look behind the curtain, if you know what I mean. And this great Amerika quarry has these beautiful layers on the sides, which truly represented for me the layers that we have in our own minds or our own hearts or souls when we decide to dig deep through our own discomforts. And so, at some point in time, you may or may not decide to look deep down into your soul and ask yourself why enough times to get to the fundamental assumption or foundation that you can operate from. And rarely anyone does it, really. I'm still the one that is really in the process of getting familiarized with this whole thing. But yeah, it is this aspiration for me. And so that is the one part of the equation, the quarries or the digging down part of the equation. The building up part of the equation was the castle Karstein. And with that, I was just mesmerized or perplexed by the courage of those builders that had to drag those countless stones up quite an impossible hill and just build something magnificent. I believe that in those era, I think it was around 14th century, the Castle Karlstein was one of the most magnificent fortresses here in the entire Europe. And so one could say that the limestone that was dug up in the Great Amerika Quarry and other quarries in there was used to build the castle like Karlstein. I'm not sure about that. You can enlighten me in the comments. But I find this beautiful correlation that the depth of one allowed for the height of another. And so you could say that those two locations are just opposite extremes of human ambition. And so what I wanted to say else, yeah, the basic principle that what I would summarize in just one sentence is that let me think for a bit. Yeah, it's temporary worse for permanent. Let me say it again. Temporary worse for permanent better. And yeah, I find this to be one of our core principles, optimal core principles of functioning. And I hope I'll be able to follow up on this video or just put it from a different angle. But I believe that's it for today. I would like to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.